It was really slow. Good morning, everyone. I'm Nick, and this is Dash with Nick. I share my 5 things I hate about DoorDash. I might throw in an extra one, so there might be 6. I'm currently sharing my vlogs, my experience doing DoorDash and Uber Eats here in Brisbane, Australia as a side hustle. I've just put a few notes here on my phone about the things I really dislike, and there are going to be a few things I do love about doing DoorDash. If you do agree, please let me know in the comments. If you experience anything similar, then also let me know. Or maybe it's just my area that I'm struggling with these things. It was really slow just doing DoorDash alone. When you're coming in and you're only spending like 2 hours in the morning and you're waiting 40 minutes for a job. Like, I find that DoorDash is better probably in the day when I'm working, but unfortunately the mornings and nights aren't as good. I'm here, the market's not the best, I don't think, in Brisbane, Australia. Boss mode number 2. I feel like DoorDash is like my boss. Every time, or there's often I turn my app on and I'll get an alert, you haven't done this right, and it's normally like, you have only taken 80% pictures, please work harder at, you know, improving, or you have been late X amount of the time, percentage of the time, and I'm like, what? You know, like, is when I close my DoorDash at the end of the session, it gives me like an alert, you have accelerated too much, or your brakes too rapidly, and I'm like, what? I just don't like that. Like, if I wanted to work for a boss, obviously I do work for a boss, so this is my way of earning money when I want, and I just don't like the fact that I get alerts and warnings off DoorDash. It almost feels like, yeah, they're telling me off all the time. Number 3, estimated times. I feel like with DoorDash, they're not realistic about their estimated delivery times. They don't take into account traffic, waiting time, getting through the shops, and I just feel like it's not really precise, and often that's when I get the late percentage, you haven't been on time enough. And obviously, if I'm platinum status, so I need to keep that, and it telling me I'm late, and then my stats drop, and it's fine that they need to be a bit more flexible with their delivery times. Like, for example, the other day it took me to go and get some donuts, and it also said I needed to pick up from Coles 4 items, and where the donuts was, there was a Coles right next door, but it sent me to another shopping centre to go to Coles, and the delivery time estimated for that was really unrealistic, and of course I was late. Declining jobs, number 4. Oh my god. So if you go to decline a job, it will say, oh, this will take your percentage down. I think I'm currently sitting at 89% acceptance rate. It was slightly higher, but there are some jobs that I just don't want to do, and I shouldn't have to be made to feel like it's going to affect my status if I decline that. I think that's really annoying and irritating. Again, I'm still wondering whether this platinum status is worth it. Unassigning jobs, again, a bit like the one before. If you're at a job and there's a massive delay, like for example Woolworths collections, sometimes there is one Woolworths that you can wait 40-50 minutes for an $8 job, and it's never ready when you get there, and you're waiting, they haven't even packed the order, and if you unassign it, it will affect your status, your rates. I think if you've waited more than 10 minutes past the expected pickup time, you can unassign without any issues. But again, if you've been waiting there 10 minutes or 15 minutes, then you feel like, well, I might as well wait now, I've wasted 15 minutes, and you just don't know how long it's going to take. Number 6, which I really hate, is the maps. I find the maps in DoorDash really not up to date. Like, the amount of times it's sent me down a closed road, or for example it's taken me down the wrong road, or it pins a house at the wrong location, and then you get to the right location and it tells you, are you sure you're at the right house? I don't know if you can relate to that, but I am going to add some things that I really do love, because are some really good things about DoorDash that I do love. First of all, number one, it is simple to get started. So if you are new and considering doing DoorDash, it is really an easy, simple process to get started. There's no police check involved. There isn't a big long time. I think it took me a day to get my documents uploaded, approved within like 2 business days. It was really simple. You just, yeah, there's no dramas with it. Number 2, it does pay better than Uber Eats. The dollar per kilometer ratio is always a lot better. If I have a DoorDash job or an Uber Eats job, I will take the DoorDash job over Uber Eats because of the pay. And obviously time is money. You want to do less Ks for more money. I find number 3, they're clear instructions when you accept a job. They're pretty straightforward. You can see where the location is, where you're going, a bit like Uber Eats. But I also feel like there's nothing not hidden, where sometimes I find with Uber Eats there are hidden, like you've got an extra pickup or you can't find where the second pickup is. It just tells you you've got 2 deliveries. So I find that DoorDash is really clear on their like accepting instructions, which helps you make that decision about whether you want to accept or decline, and affect your ratings if you do decline. But that is all I have. Thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up. Please drop me a comment if you agree with any of my dislikes, my likes, my loves, I should say. And if you are new, please consider subscribing. I'm dashing and doing Uber Eats, and I'm sharing my experience normally via vlogs. But have a good day and chat soon. Take care.